Randolph and Wabash is next.
Yeah, but the other day,
Doors open on the front at Randolph and Wabash.
I ain't seen no food to burn.
Transfer to Metra and South Shore trains at Randolph and Wabash.
Julian is visiting from Auckland, New Zealand, and Julian's work deals primarily with the lineages of abstraction, conceptualism, and minimalism, and he's talking today mainly about how his work is foregrounding process.
Thanks very much, Anna. And thanks for inviting me. It's very nice to be here. It's, I think I've been to Chicago maybe a dozen times over the years. My first trip was in '86. I like Chicago very much. To me, usually when I travel to America, I go to New York City. And whilst I love New York, Chicago, I find it very interesting because I get to meet a lot of Americans. Where in New York, it's often French or German, or a lot of expatriate New Zealanders, as you can imagine. And often the discussion then is about visa status and so on and so forth, and who someone's marrying and etc. So it's very interesting and exciting for me to come to Chicago. I'm interested in architecture, and I've spent a great deal of my time this trip in the Frank Lloyd Wright district. To me, it's kind of like I've died and gone to heaven. And as Anna mentioned, I'm here for a show at the Suburban Gallery. There's two shows there. There's one I've curated, an exhibition called The, and my own exhibition as well. Those of, I guess you people are all familiar with the Suburban Project. It's very well known internationally, and it was a great pleasure and honour to be invited to show there.
I was introduced to Julian's work when he had his show, was it in Iowa? His, the project that he did several years ago with a terrific catalog with the essay by David Raskin. And I said, who is this? Who is this New Zealander? And why are they in our why is he doing a project in the Midwest? And then I started connecting the dots, and the dots started to spread out to Europe and to New York. My friend Jan van der Ploeg, who runs a terrific space that Julian's been showing at for a very long time in Amsterdam, is a good friend. So, as is so often in the art world, but kind of profoundly with Julian, everything started to come back. So Julian is finally here. He's finally in Chicago. He's finally doing his show at the Suburban. So it's strange to only meet him for the first time, but he's the narrative, Julian's narrative and his work have been well entrenched in the last couple years of my life. So, so finally he is here. The good friend has finally arrived.
Yeah, this is just a new piece I'm doing, Brad, called I'm Afraid of Red, Yellow and Blue, and this is a series of 5 after the Bartlett Newman 5 pieces he did. So I did the first in Sydney earlier on this year. This is number 2. I'm doing number 3 in Sydney again, at an art space in Sydney. Number 4 at PS, early November, and there has not been a destination for number 5 yet. So just very simple. So it's like the answer to Bartlett Newman's question of who's afraid of red, yellow and blue? It's me. Finally, we put him out of his misery.
It's me.
I thought it was horses. Huh? My work is done.
You got a stick? That's she's listening to us.
The light is perfect too.
It's beautiful day.
Yeah.
We met at the Chinati Foundation in Marfa, Texas, when Julian was a Fulbright scholar. I had gone out to the Chinati for one of their open houses or one of their symposiums, and the first thing I remember of Julian was I was standing in the office and one of his clear polycarbonate records was on the wall. And I was asking the Chinati staff, who did that, what was that about? And apparently Julian was standing there overhearing the whole conversation. And he heard that I was interested, and of course that attracted his attention. And the next thing I know, I'm standing in the locker plant, which is one of the Chinati's exhibition spaces, looking at his artist-in-resident exhibition. And it was the stretcher bars leaning up against the wall. And I'm in there looking. And Julian and his son Leo walk in, and Leo is holding a bag of fast food from the Dairy Queen, which is the only fast food restaurant in Marfa, Texas. And Julian and I are just talking about the art, and that's how we met.